Good morning. Good morning. There we go. Beautiful. So, good morning. And as you get here, make sure that you say hello and let me know you're here. And give me just a moment. All right. And now I'm going to pull this up on my phone. Oh, wrong thing. There we go. All right. And I know it's Christmas Eve. I can't believe it. So I'm just not even sure who's going to show up this morning, and that's perfectly okay. I am here as I promised I would be. And I've got an affirmation and journal prompt that I'll share in just a moment, but I'm going to give it just a minute. Let me make sure if I got out everything set up exactly the way it's supposed to be. All right. Perfect. So I was listening last night and this morning to some different YouTube videos, and it brought a lot up in in my mind about how a lot of times we're talking about what we want and how we think we're going to get there and everything, and that sometimes it's good to just know it's all going to happen, right? Well, it's always good to know that. And so I created today's affirmation and journal prompt with that in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and share this. Give me just a second. Good morning, Wendy. Merry Christmas. All right. So today's affirmation is today. Lots of love. Aw, thank you. Lots of love to you as well. Glad to have you back home. I know you're not quite so glad to be back home. You were having so much fun, but we're glad to have you back. So our affirmation is today I move from wanting to receiving. See, there's a big difference. When you're wanting, it still feels like it's way out there. You got to go get it. But when you're receiving, it means even if it's out there, it's headed toward you. It is magnetically being drawn to you. And all you got to do is say, okay, I receive. And then it comes, right? And the way that you begin that is knowing that you're really worthy of all the blessings in your life. Because a lot of times the reason that things aren't coming that we want is for deep down, we're not so sure that we deserve it, or that we're smart enough, or we're good enough, we're thin enough, fat enough, tall enough. We have all these things in our minds that we don't consciously say, I don't deserve that. I'm not going to do it. We do things to prevent it from coming because we feel those things, right? So today we can choose to accept that we are blessed beyond measure, which we are, right? Even if the outer world doesn't reflect it, we are. And it's getting this here and this here to change in order for that to change. And you may be a person that it seems like just everything comes to you, and that's beautiful. I love that. And that you are always upbeat and happy, and I love that. But sometimes there's a little fleeting thought, because if we're human, there's no way we can be happy 100% of the time, because there's a polarity of life. There's a light, there's a dark, there's an up, there's a down. The happier you are, the lower you can go. I mean, wouldn't it be a miserable life if you were always the same all the time and you never saw any difference? There was no fluctuation because it's just like I have a client that her and her son went to Disney and he loved it. He was about 4 and he loved it. So she got the idea that because of that, that they were going to go all the time. So they got season passes. They were going so often. Good morning, Janet. I see you here. Thank you for being here. So they got season passes and they were going all the time. Like sometimes in the summer, they would go several times during the month. And it got to be where it was like old hat, right? It didn't have that special place. It didn't feel right. I'm glad. I'm blessed in my whole life. Wonderful, Wendy. Merry Christmas, Janet. Yes, Merry Christmas Eve. But the thing is that no matter how amazing things are, there's going to be dips. And that's how you can see how amazing the big things are, right? And I know it's like if we, I'm trying to think of some of the analogies that were popping in my head earlier. It is, it's like someone who doesn't want to get depressed or doesn't want to be depressed. They take a medicine that keeps them where they're not depressed, but they can't be happy either. They're just like, right. And that is no place to be, right? But you can also be that way wherever you are, where it seems the same all the time. And you can't see how amazing the light is unless you've been immersed in the dark. So, all the things that we deal with in our entire lives are helping us to grow and to be and to recognize the highs as, oh my gosh, this is amazing, because we've experienced some lows, right? And so it's to expect to be perfectly happy with every single thing in your life all the time is unrealistic. So in relationships, we have an ebb and a flow, right? There's a yin and a yang to everything. And there's that with the world. There's a yin and a yang to everything. Merry Christmas. Yes, Wendy. So there's so much that we can be so grateful for, even the lows, because they help us see the highs. I'm riding a high of happiness. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Keep riding that wave. Keep riding that wave. So I love this affirmation because most of the time, like I said, we're wanting and wanting and wanting, and I want this and I want to do that, and I want to feel this, I want to experience that. But let's just drop into receiving, knowing that we are worthy of all the blessings in our life, all of them, right? And even if we hit a little low, if we go down in a little valley, we know we're going to pop back up, because that's just the nature of vibration in the world, right? An ebb and a flow. And I choose to accept that I am blessed beyond measure. Let's see, what does this say? Good morning from Sanford, North Carolina, here with my daughter and daughter-in-law. Let the wonderful magic of Christmas begin. Yes. Yes, I love it, Lynn. I love it. Congratulations. That sounds wonderful. I will be going to my family's thing tomorrow. Today I'm actually am working. I had, amen, Janet. Yes, I had, I wasn't going to work in the hair salon today, and then I had someone reach out that was having a hair emergency because they had something coming up, and I said, okay, you go ahead and come in, we'll take care of it. So I'm working today to help this person get to being the beauty queen, the diva that she wants to be, so that she can go through this holiday season feeling confident about herself. Let's see, what does this say? Still riding on the enchantment from the Xmas spirit of the cruise. And I accept it was the karma of the love I gave. Yes. Ooh, I like that. I love that. All right. So remember with our affirmation, we put that on our index card, the screensaver on our phone, the sticky notes, we put it somewhere that we can see it. So today we remember that we're just being open to receiving the blessings. And it sounds like all of you guys are open for the blessings this morning. And, you know, we're right here at Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. And there's like just being here feels like there's this excitement pulling up and rising, right? And one of the reasons why I was talking about how there's an ebb and a flow, right, is because sometimes as we get into the holidays and we're riding this high and we're feeling this love and everything, and what happens a lot of times right after Christmas, it's like there's this like some of the people that were really, really happy and excited and everything, suddenly they don't act that way anymore. It's like they put on this, they were able to feel that way for Christmas, but then a life shut them down and then they're not. And so I just want you to be mindful of if you feel that coming on for you, or if you're around someone that you see that happening to them, it's okay, because that just means that they couldn't sustain such a high place for such a long time. They had to get into that flow of life, and it's okay, right? And as we go into the new year, we're going to recognize that we can receive as much as we want, right? And that it's okay if we wake up one day and it's like, oh, it's okay. But there are things that you can do to get outside of that, so that the trick is that I know for me years ago, before I started doing this work, if I had the down part, because you always do, right? When I would have the down part, I would stay there longer. And so the trick is, or the task is, that as you feel that little dip, right? You recognize it, you feel it, and then you say, okay, I did it. Now let's keep going. And it's not like you're burying your head in the sand or anything like that, but you can choose whether you want to focus on the good or if you want to focus on what's not good, right? I don't want to say bad, because when it comes to that, it's either good for you or not good for you. It's not necessarily good or bad, because that's all a perception, right? So as you're doing this and getting into the flow of life and learning all of these things, then when you have that temporary dip so that you see the darkness and appreciate the light more, you know how to turn on the switch for the light so much quicker. And you can enjoy life and the people around you, and just enjoy the magic, right? And so that's what I'm getting at, is that we're doing this so that we can recognize that that is something that happens, but now we have the power and the fortitude to not let it take us down. We can flow, the ebb and the flow, right? So our going into the darkness doesn't go quite so dark. It just a little, right? So today I move from wanting to receiving, knowing that I am worthy. You are worthy of all the blessings in your life, all of them, every single one. I choose to accept that I am blessed beyond measure, because we all are, right? All right, so now I'm going to grab the journal prompt. All right, let me see if I can put it on here again. We'll take this off and see if that does it. Hold on, give me a second. Too much of it wasn't showing up, because sometimes I get a little long on these. What is that? An error occurred. Hold on. Wait a moment and then try again. Okay, here we go. All right. I waited a moment, tried again. There you go. So our journal prompt today is, what would it feel like to fully step into receiving the blessings you've been wanting? What would it feel like to fully step into receiving the blessings you've been wanting? Now, those blessings could be a plethora of things, right? Maybe it's a blessing of a house or a car or a better relationship or your business to be a certain thing. Whatever that blessing is that you've been wanting, right? What would it feel like to fully step into it? So it's like, doing the visual, and I've talked to you about this before, is that you almost envision that there's a TV screen in front of you. And on that TV screen is a movie of you receiving the blessings that you're wanting, right? You can see it playing out, how you look, how you act, who you're with, where you're at, the whole thing, as if it's a home movie. That dates me, right? If it's a video of you as you received that blessing. So somebody was sitting out to the side, you can be videotaped and put on YouTube just like that for anything, right? So just imagine that the blessing that you've been wanting in your life, it comes to you in this second right here, and there's somebody standing over there and they video it. And then you get to see what it looked like. Now you know not only what it looked like, but you can feel into what it feels like to receive that blessing, right? And the thing that I like to tell people to do is, you don't want to just be an outside bystander watching it unfold. You want to step into that, right? So what I like to do is if you were a client today, I would take you through a process of a great visualization of, we would do all these different things. But right now, it's like whatever that video is that you imagined in your mind of what it looked like when you fully stepped into receiving your blessing, right? The one that you've been wanting so bad, that felt like it was so elusive, it was way over there and you couldn't get to it. You can feel into it, but now in your mind, you can see a visual of it. So as you're looking at the screen, I want you to just imagine that you walk up to the screen and you step into your body on the screen so that you can experience it as you, not just watching you. I don't know. Does that make sense to you? I know when I'm doing a visual, it's a little lengthier than that, but that is something that really benefits you to do. And just feel it, right? Be it. And then write about how you can shift from longing to gratitude. So no longer are you longing for this blessing, for you to receive this blessing, and thinking about how you will feel. Now you're feeling the gratitude of having had that experience. And then name what ways you'll embrace. What did I do there? And name what ways you'll embrace your blessings today. Okay. I thought I must have missed a word in there, because I was typing in there as I was running late doing some of this stuff. So I was typing into the thing. So write about how you can shift from longing to gratitude, and name what ways you'll embrace your blessings today. So how can you today drop into the gratitude and embrace those blessings? So how can you do that today? All right, now I'm going to go back to the affirmation. Today I move from wanting to receiving. Mm, 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 mm. Receiving. Knowing I am worthy of all the blessings in my life, every single one of them. I choose to accept that I am blessed beyond measure because you are. And if you're not seeing it, it's because you're not allowing. So this is your wake up to allow the blessings in your life to show up today. Quiet time, meditation helps. Yes, Janet. Yes, definitely. So today I move from wanting to receiving, knowing I am worthy of all the blessings in my life, and I choose to accept that I am blessed beyond measure. And then your journal prompt. Now remember what I suggest is that you get your notebook out, your journal out, you write the date, the affirmation, the journal prompt, and then you take some time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something. If you've got more time today, spend some more time in it. Like Janet just said, quiet time and meditation help. So take some time today as you're doing this and just sit in silence. We don't want you to be doing a audio meditation. We don't want you to be a guided meditation. We want you to just sit in silence, because in that silence, you allow your guide voice, your intuition, your subconscious mind, all these things to just kind of pour out of you. And most of the time, your conscious mind is running the show as far as how much is going on up there, right? But it's only really effective 12% of the time. The rest of the time, it's your subconscious mind. So let's really exercise them. Let that subconscious thoughts and feelings and emotions come onto the page, because we want to quiet the chatter of that conscious mind, because it's trying to keep you exactly where you've been. And it's going to do everything it can to keep you there. The same thoughts, the same feelings, the same actions, the same everything. And what happens when you work with your conscious mind to make changes is that it will let you change for a little bit, and then it'll put you right back to where you were, because that's where it's safe. That's what it knows. And it doesn't matter if it's in a bad situation or a good situation. It's trying to keep you safe. And safe doesn't mean good. Safe just means you've survived it. It knows that whatever's going on, you've survived it. And maybe you've survived it for a long time. You've been miserable, but you've survived it. And so it's going to try to keep you there. And so we want to quiet that chatter so that we can allow this subconscious, the God voice, to be giving us information, right? So as you spend that time in silence and you're quieting the chatter, focus on your breath and just breathe. And then listen to the sounds around you. And anytime you notice, which it happens a lot, I'll tell you, to all of us, if you quiet the chatter and then suddenly you recognize that you're off on a tangent of thinking of something, then it's like, oof, and you bring it back to the stillness, the quiet, the breath. And you just keep doing that however many times it takes, so that you can spend more time with your inner voice, your inner guidance, your God voice. And then when the timer goes off, then you just start writing, and you don't judge, you just write. What would it feel like to fully step into receiving the blessings you've been wanting? What would that really, really feel like? Not to just dip your toe in, but to fully immerse yourself into receiving the blessings you've been wanting. And then write about how you can shift from longing to have it to gratitude for it. How can you shift from longing to gratitude? And then name what ways you'll embrace your blessings today. So, how do you feel that you could shift from longing to gratitude? Any thoughts? Any ideas? Let me see what's. I see we've got some people over on Instagram land, and thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And if you want to chime in, definitely chime in. So, one of the ways that I like to step from longing to gratitude is that I will do the visual like I just shared a few moments ago. And then when I go to bed at night, I will spend just a few moments to just kind of think about that picture that I shared, the picture of you having already accomplished the thing that you want, the thing that has come to you, right? The receiving that you did. Somebody took a snapshot, and you can be in that picture and think about that at night before you go to bed. What does it feel like? What does it look like? Is there a certain sound? Is there a certain smell? So, for instance, if one of your goals was to speak on stage, let's just say that, and it's felt very elusive. It's like, I don't know enough. I don't know. I'm kind of scared and all those things. And you want to step into that. You want to receive that blessing, right? And you don't worry about how it's letting people you love know it. Yes, yes. Praying to express gratitude. Yes, I love it. So if one of your things that you were longing for was to be able to get up on stage and make a difference, then in that scenario, with this visual, you would, in your mind, you would see yourself on stage. You would see yourself where people are standing up and they're applauding, they're giving you that standing ovation, and you're looking out at the audience and everybody's just really loving everything that you're doing. And then in your visual, you walk off the stage to the table where your book is. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm doing one of mine, right? Where your book is. And then people are lined up to buy your book and get your autograph. And you just, you get immersed in it to what is all the sounds that you hear of the chatter of people talking, of what does a conversation you hear over here. And how does it feel to be immersed in that and the glory of, they love what I've got to say. It's making a difference. So it is stepping fully in and immersing yourself in there and feeling it and being so grateful. Like when I imagine standing on the stage and there's a standing ovation, it's like, oh my gosh, I am so grateful these people receive what I've got to say, and it moves them, right? It's not just about me, but it is about me, right? If that makes any sense. So, what is it that you're longing for that has seemed elusive, seemed so far away? What would it feel like to fully step into receiving that blessing? What would it feel like? And how can you shift from longing to gratitude? One of the best ways is to do some of these visualizations, right? And in what ways can you embrace your blessings today? All right. So I have to pop off here. Like I said, I ended up opening up today for a client, and I've got to go get prepared for that. And I just want you guys to know that I am so grateful to be here with you. And I'm not sure about tomorrow. I know I will come on. I'm not sure if it'll be 9 o'clock, if it'll be 10 o'clock. I really, I don't know. So what I'll probably do is pop on because I don't want to rush in the morning. I want to just relish the morning, and not to say because I do have to rush because I'm still got the dog, so I'm having to take the dog out and everything. Today, receive all of your blessings and have a very Merry Christmas. Oh, thank you, Wendy. Beautiful, beautiful. So, like I said, I'm not sure. Let's just say I'll do 10 o'clock, and that way I'll have more time to go and do something. And I don't know what time we're going to be opening gifts, and I don't know how soon I've got to get the cooking started. So I'll 10 o'clock, I think will be okay. So I will see you tomorrow for Christmas at 10 o'clock. And if you can be here, great. And if you can't, have a very, very Merry Christmas. And you can watch the replay. And let me pop over here real quick and make sure where we at. All right. So it has been beautiful to be here with you this morning, and enjoy every moment of your family time. Appreciate you. Thank you, Janet. Thank you. I appreciate you as well. And, I've talked a little bit about some of the things that's coming up. I've got a program that if I have time later today, I might pop on and share a little bit about so that you can take advantage of the special deal that I have going. But right now, I just want to make sure that I let you know how much I care and how much I love being part of your lives. And with that said, receive all of your blessings and have a very Merry Christmas. Mwah.